How's it going, everybody? My name is B and welcome back to Your Altcoins. Today, we're going to start a brand new series on the channel, something that many of you have been asking me for quite some time now. I've been getting a lot of comments on the channel saying, B, could you go into more detail, more depth on the projects you're talking about? Read the white paper, read the website, get intimately familiar with the projects, and then relay that information back to us in a very clear and concise manner. So that's what I'm going to do. I have a coin lined up for you guys. It is called Storj. It is basically decentralized cloud storage with a little bit more to it than that, which is kind of interesting for other people who may want to try and make a little money on the side. We'll get into that in just a second. First, we're going to start with the market cap of 710 billion. The entire market, there seems to be a fair amount of green in the past 24 hours. We had that sea of red on Sunday. This is a beautiful Monday morning, and we have a fair amount of green on the 24-hour mark. NEO is up so hot right now, and so is EOS. I suggest you don't buy into these right now. As we all know, you buy in the reds, you sell in the greens. Really, really simple. Don't buy during highs. Tron down to 8 cents. When is this thing going to stop? I keep talking about Tron because it's so popular right now, and so many of you are super interested and invested in Tron. If everybody remembers my little mistake from earlier in the year, I had Tron at 3 cents. I sold all out of Tron at 6 cents, thinking, okay, I've doubled, and according to history, it's going to drop off. And according to history, it was going to drop off, but then it jumped all the way up to 29 cents, and right now is dropping down, down, down. If it drops below 6 cents, I would be so shocked and surprised. But we will see. We'll have to wait and see. When is this ride going to end? I have no idea. So Tron is super down right now. Verge does not know what it wants to do with itself. But looking at the top 20, top 30, top 40, I don't see a clear, oh my God, must get in right now buying opportunity. I'm not too sure. So let's jump into today's coin. Let's jump in to Storj. It's S-T-O-R-J, pronounced Storj according to the website, selling at $2 right now. Market cap of 270 million, 24-hour volume of just under 10 million, circulating supply of 133 million, total supply of 424, just under 425 million. This coin has been out since July, so not a super old coin. It's only about 6 or 7 months old. It had a bit of a spike after July, between July and August, and then it kind of dropped off and fell in the middle of nowhere, and has recently been seeing a surge of interest. Available on Bittrex, QIWI, Binance, Polyanix, OKX, all sorts of websites. But B, you're going to say, you do this kind of stuff all the time. And you're right. Now, we're going to dive deep into what Storj is. Took off my sweater as we get ready to dive into the deep talk. Storj is open source cloud storage. It is decentralized cloud storage, which makes it cheaper and allows you, as a general consumer, an average person, to designate part of your extra hard drive space as a farm for the storage of encrypted data, which means you, as the farmer, can get paid in storage once a month to host some of your hard drive as storage. You heard that correctly. You can designate a part of your hard drive on your computer as storage for their cloud service and get paid to do so. We will get into that as we move along. So clearly, by what I was saying, there is a working product right now, a fully functional working product, and it works fantastic. You can sign up right now. You get 25 gigabytes free for the first 12 months. You can rent your drive. Let's start talking about the project. End-to-end encryption, blazing fast, and high availability. How does it work? I would love to show you the video right now, but that will get me in trouble with YouTube. How it works basically is, you have a piece of data you want to store. We'll call it a picture. You have a picture you want to store. Your picture is first encrypted using a specific encryption key. Only you, as the owner of the encryption key, have access to the algorithm, to the variable that will unencrypt that key. The private key, basically, of the blockchain. You own the private key of this file. After it's encrypted, the file is sharded. It is split into multiple shards, and these shards are then sent out along the decentralized network to different computers on the network. Little tiny pieces, multiple shards sent out on the network onto other people's computers or servers or hardware all around the world. Then, when you want to retrieve your piece of data, you have your encryption key. It takes those shards from all those computers, brings them back to your computer, unencrypts it, and gives you the file. Now, why is this so much better than a typical cloud service? First and foremost, a typical cloud service is literally one location. And if that one location fails, you can lose your data. This method has your information split amongst multiple computers. And you're probably wondering to yourself, B, what if one of the computers that holds one shard is shut down, is disconnected, is broken, doesn't work? Do you lose your data? No, you don't. We'll get into that. So because your information is split amongst multiple servers, when you want to retrieve it, it's actually pulling that information from multiple servers. Kind of like those peer-to-peer transfers used to do in LimeWire and stuff. This speeds up the downloading and uploading process. So downloading and uploading larger files is much, much faster. They have a very simple pricing scheme. For storage, it is, look at that, per gigabyte per month, it is less than 2 cents per gigabyte per month. Maybe you don't want to store your video files, but let's say you want to store some very sensitive, very important text files or picture files. Your storage per month, really, really cheap. Bandwidth is 5 cents per gigabyte downloaded. Again, that's very, very cheap. A lot of the white paper had to do with the technical aspects of the different types of encryption and the technical aspects of the different types of storage and the different types of storage methods that this company considered before agreeing on this decentralized method. One interesting thing about storage is the security, is the safety. So you have these shards, and these shards are sent out to the network to be stored on multiple computers. And what if you're thinking to yourself that somebody wants to try and collect all the shards, to assemble all the shards, and then recreate your data and steal it? Well, one of the beautiful things about the network is as the network grows, you send your shards out, you encrypt your file, you send your shards out, and then more shards go on the network, and more shards come on the network, and more shards come on the network. When that happens, it's literally burying these individual shards amongst all of these other ones and buries them. So the only way, conceivably, to get every single shard of information necessary to re-encrypt all your data is you have to know exactly where they're going to right from the get-go, and the only person who knows that is you, the owner of the private key, the owner of the encryption key. You're the only one who knows it. None of your personal information are on the encryption, and none of the personal information of the other people who are storing your data is in the information as well. So it's all perfectly private and safe. So here's an image describing that. You have your file, it is encrypted, and then sharded out to multiple different hashes and multiple different computers on the network. So let's start talking about things that go wrong. So in order to actually get your data back, get your information back, you have to have every single piece of the shard to assemble it like a puzzle piece, and then unencrypt, and bam, there's your file. What happens if one node goes down? What happens if Jim on his desktop has a power outage and his information is down, his computer's down, it's a power outage, and that information's gone. So what happens is when you send your information out, when you encrypt your data and it goes to shards and the shards go out, those shards are duplicated at least 3 times. So each individual shard is duplicated at least 3 times, and each duplication is sent out to a different computer. If a computer goes down, a new shard is duplicated and sent somewhere else. So you have 3 shards over here on these 3 computers. One computer goes down, you're down to 2 shards. One of those shards is copied, sent to an additionally new computer, and you have another new 3rd shard. So that system is constantly rebacking itself up over and over and over if these computers go down. So this helps to ensure that when you want your piece of data, and you've got your encryption key, and you want to get your file back, it's going to be there. You're going to have all the puzzle pieces intact. So dry farming, a lot of people are probably curious, oh, yo, B, you said that I can use my computer as a farm to store these shards of data from all these people on the network and get paid for it. So right here is an FAQ. Go to the FAQ. There's lots of good information here. I was reading into this in depth last night. So you download the free software, you designate a section of your hard drive or an entire hard drive to be a farm, and then they start sending you encrypted shards of data to be stored on that farm. Each month, you are paid in Storj or BTC or ETH, if I recall, and that's sent to your address that you designate. If your computer or your storage device powers down and is disconnected from the internet at any point in time, all of the shards on your computer are rendered null and void, and they're duplicated and sent somewhere else on the network. So if you want to create a storage farm, you better make sure that A, you have a very steady internet connection, and B, you have a very steady power connection. And if you can, a backup source of battery power in case your electricity goes out. They even talk about having dedicated hardware for this. Here's an example. Ideally, this would require an upfront investment of a couple $100 to purchase a dedicated network-attached storage device such as a Synology DS213 Air or DS214SE. These can be plugged in and run 24/7, up to two 1TB to 6TB drives. Adding a small, inexpensive 400-watt cyber power or APC UPS battery backup could also improve uptime during power outages. So we have this product, we have this website, we have this business that is free to sign up, that has very, very, very cheap fees for uploading and storing data, that stores data instead of one centralized location along the entire blockchain network, that duplicates that information 3x plus to make sure that if one goes down, one part of your information goes down, another duplicate is made immediately afterwards. So your information is stored everywhere. It is encrypted. It is sharded. It is difficult, if not impossible, to find if you don't know where they're placed initially as the shards continue to grow. And there's zero fear of your information being stored at a third location. There's zero fear because it is split up and stored by each of us as opposed to a company. So you have no fear of a company snooping in amongst your stuff or selling your data to the highest bidder because your information is split. And then on top of that, if you want to, you can set up your own farm to support the network to earn some storage on the side. Now, the only thing I did not do in my deep dive into storage was try to set up my own farm. I cannot tell you the pay rates of storage per how much space is being used. From what I was reading, there was a bit of a competitive bidding market. So the people trying to sell storage are bidding on a market and trying to get those bids to people who are buying storage. So therefore, that's an open market. It's not a set price, and the market will fluctuate based off of supply and demand. So if this gets off the ground even further than it already has, because we're currently at a market cap of 270 million. So there is already some significant interest in this project. If this gets off the ground and becomes one of the big players in the cloud storage space, you could imagine that the demand for cloud storage will far outstrip the supply, especially initially. So maybe it is worth it to get in, even if you don't invest in the coin or invest in the project. Maybe it's even worth it to get in on the side early, because early adopters are, it's where the money's at. To get in early, make a storage system, maybe build a cheap little computer with a whole bunch of HDDs on there. Build a little storage system, give it a battery backup, plug it right into your router. Make sure it's constantly connected to the internet. Could be worth it to do it on the side. Again, I don't have the going rates for you. That may be up to you to test and to taste, but I think it's kind of cool. So let's come full circle and talk about the coin itself. As a project, this is a fantastic idea. Internet cloud storage is a growing industry, is a very useful industry, and this is a decentralized method that incentivizes users to host the data. I really enjoy that concept. I also really enjoy this whole deep diving thing because I'm learning a whole lot about this market and about the entire crypto market doing this. So would I invest in storage? I would right now. As I've mentioned in other videos, I'm waiting for my verification, my identification verification on Quadragax to allow me to withdraw all my fiat sitting in my bank account doing nothing so I can start to invest. Would I consider investing into storage as soon as my fiat clears? Yes, I'm kind of bullish on this product now, especially now that I know what kind of problem it's trying to solve. So I hope this little video was very informative for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're looking forward to additional deep dives into individual coins. If you like that thought process, drop a like and let me know. Go in the comment section and say, yo, B, we love these deep dives, keep doing them. And if you have an undervalued coin with a very good product, working product, that you want me to take a deep dive into, comment down below and let me know. And as always, thank you very much for watching.